What's up, everyone? I'm Rick Knight. Welcome back to another video here at The Bad Philosopher. Okay, so this just in. Chicago Police Department has now decided that Jussie Smollett is no longer a victim and he is now a suspect. That's what they're labeling him. I'm going to go to a New York Times article and we are going to see exactly what they have to say. Now, keep in mind, New York Times, I know it's very, very biased. New York Times, it is the Bible of progressivism. So let's see what they have to say, because if they say it, it has to be true, right? Okay, now here's the article. This is Jussie Smollett when he did the interview with Robinson, I think her name was, from Good Morning America. Let's see. The Chicago police said Wednesday they now consider Jussie Smollett, the Empire actor who said he was the victim of a hate crime, a suspect amid allegations that he had actually staged the assault he reported in January. Law enforcement officials said they had begun presenting evidence to a grand jury in what now appears to be a case where investigators believe Mr. Smollett falsely reported being attacked. Mr. Smollett, who is black and openly gay, had told the police that while walking in downtown Chicago, he had been confronted by masked white men who hurled homophobic and racial slurs at him and announced it was MAGA country, a reference to President Trump's campaign slogan. MAGA, as we all know, means Make America Great Again, which you see right here on my hat sitting next to me, because I am a Trump supporter. And no, I'm not the one who allegedly attacked the Empire star Smollett. Okay, let's go back to the article. The statement from the Chicago Police Department said Jussie Smollett is now officially classified as a suspect in a criminal investigation by Chicago police for filing a false police report, which is a Class 4 felony. Detectives are currently presenting evidence before a Cook County grand jury. This is from the New York Times. I would like to show that real quick if I see a where it says New York Times somewhere. I think I didn't crop it in right. Oh, there you go, the New York Times, as you can see. I didn't crop it in right at top. It doesn't. Oh, though, there you go. You can see it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, well, I'm gonna have a link to to this in the description, a link to this article so you can read it yourself. But there you have it. The Chicago Police Department will be investigating this case as a hoax now, not as as there being a victim. Now, as we know, Mr. Smollett was walking from his, I think it was January 29th, he was walking from his home to at 2 in the morning when it was like 17 trillion degree, below zero that night. It was extremely cold, and he walked to a 24-hour Subway sandwich shop to get a sandwich. On the way back, he was approached by 2 men who beat him up, and they hurled racial and homophobic slurs at him. They allegedly threw bleach at him. They put a rope around his neck, was supposed to be a noose, and then they ran off yelling MAGA country. Jussie Smollett said that they were white. Turns out that they were not white. It was 2 Nigerian brothers, both brothers who know Smollett very well. In fact, one of them is his personal trainer and also worked on the set of Empire with him. They said that they were arrested, and they eventually were released, and no charges are against them at the moment. They said that they were paid to do that. And there's a whole bunch of other details. A receipt for the rope where the Ace Hardware store where they bought the rope was found in one of the men's home. The police did raid the home. They found a magazine with pages missing. They believe that is the magazine that was used to send a threatening letter to Fox, to the Fox company about Smollett. They're now believing this whole thing was orchestrated by Jussie Smollett, and he paid for it. And I also read earlier that they are looking at Jussie Smollett's financial records, because I'd like to see, I guess, if he withdrew a certain amount of money, or and what day he withdrew it, and where did he withdraw it from. It will be amazing if he withdrew it from the very same, if there was an ATM machine, in the Subway sandwich shop where he went to get his sandwich late night. I don't know if you can take out that much from an ATM. I don't know. I've never tried to take out that much money out of an ATM. So, well, there you have it. Now he is under criminal investigation for making a false statement. And here's the thing: a lot of black people, quite a few black people I've seen, through YouTube and on social media, say that not only is the black community not supporting Smollett in this, but quite a few people came out and said that he owes them an apology, because what he did, the stupidity in what he did, what happens is it waters down real real bias attacks, real attacks, real hate attacks, real situations where people really are the victims. And it doesn't have to be white on black. It could be black on white. It could be Spanish on Asian. It could be, Muslim on Indian. It could be, it could be anything. It could be any type of, anyone on anyone because of race. And when something like this happens, it kind of waters that down, and it kind of makes people look at everything as a hoax and not taken serious. So a lot of people are calling for him to apologize. To come out and admit what he did and apologize. Also, members in the gay community too also came out and said that this was it was very inappropriate of him, and it makes them look bad, and it makes their plight that much harder, and it makes everything look like a hoax now. So he definitely needs to step up, admit what he did, and apologize. And he also needs to apologize. Honestly, the biggest victims in all this is Trump supporters. We support our president. We support our country. And when you do things like this and you're painting us as, you're painting us to be a certain type. And here I am, and I said it before on the show, and I said it, matter of fact, in one of the last videos I made about Trump, his administration, has a campaign to end criminalization of homosexuals in other countries, and I say it's a good reason. One of the reasons why it's a good thing is because to victimize someone just for being gay or for being a lesbian or transgender, something like that, to use physical force against them or to have unfair treatment or unfair laws against them, it's immoral 100%. Whether I don't agree with them, I don't agree with their lifestyle because it's not my lifestyle. But you know what? It's not my lifestyle, so they can do whatever the hell they want. I don't agree with them politically or philosophically, which is fine. We don't agree with each other. We can argue until we're blue in the face, but we definitely do agree that to mistreat someone and to victimize them is uncalled for, and it's inhumane and it's immoral. So 100%, to use any type of acts of aggression towards someone just based on what they look like or how they live their life or something is just not called for. So and I'm a Trump supporter, and I don't want to see a person who's gay or black to be victimized, to be physically beaten, to be killed, to be arrested just for being gay. I wouldn't want to see that. So when the news first broke, I was like, I kind of feel bad for the dude, minding his business, walking down the street, and he gets attacked. And then I didn't say anything because let the information come out and let's see what's going on. And then when the information came out, boom, it's all bullshit. And just like the Covington kids, where they showed a video of this kid, and this was all perpetrated by the media. This was a real incident, a real event. It wasn't a hoax. Well, it was a hoax on the media side, not on the Covington side, not on Nick Sandman's side. This was all on the media side as a hoax. They took an image of the kid just standing there smiling while the Native American man was in his face beating a drum, and he's white, he's a Christian, he's a Catholic, so it would be Christian, and he has a Trump hat on, Make America Great Again hat, this hat on, and instantly he was vilified, and instantly they just came at him and they attacked him, and it was hate. It was an attack based on hate. It might have been all words and not actions and not physical attack, but they slandered him. They slandered him in the news, and now there's a lawsuit. I'm about to make a video about that as soon as I finish reading the article. But this is what happens when when you allow people to do the stuff that they do. And it was it was not only the news media, it was also politicians, it was also celebrities, it was journalists, all that came out and came after those kids. And just like the whole Jussie situation, now they need to apologize. They need to apologize for what they did. They need to retract their statements, which a lot of people did. Some people did apologize. A lot of people deleted their tweets and their Instagram and all that stuff. But it cheapens everything. What happens is people hear that a Trump supporter did something, and hopefully now it's to the point where they don't believe it anymore. They don't believe it, and they're like, look, this is the second big incident that happened where a Trump supporter is being blamed, and I'm sorry, but I'm just, I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe it anymore, and hopefully that's the case. And if that does become the case, then thank you, lefties. Thank you for constantly vilifying us to the point that the general public no longer believes you, and you look terrible, and then we look like we're not so bad people. So there you go. But you definitely do a disservice not only to us, but even to members of your own party. You do a very disservice to them. I mean, Senator Kamala Harris is running for president in 2020. Good luck to her. She's never going to win. She came out and she was like, justice for Jussie, and her and Cory Booker want to they were like, we want a new law. We want a bill to prevent lynching, like an anti-lynching bill, anti-lynching law. And it's like, do we really need an anti-lynching law? Isn't it already illegal to lynch someone because you're using an act of aggression against them, you're using physical force against them, against their will? So, wouldn't that be called kidnapping and then assault and then false imprisonment or whatever the different terms it would be? And so now you want to, they want to add a charge to it, but that would only be if there was an actual, exactly what defines what a lynching is. Just jumping someone, beating them up is not a lynching. So you have to be very clear in exactly what you mean by lynching. But either way, this was all based on this Jussie Smollett situation, and it turned out to be false. So. Here you go. This is what happens. You make a fool out of yourselves. You make a fool out of a lot of different people. And then most of the times you don't even get an apology from them or even them, to backtrack their story. Some people double down and they just continue with it, and they just cannot, they cannot just admit that they were wrong and that their guy is wrong and that he made this up and it's a hoax, and they'll just continue with it. They won't admit that the Covington kids didn't do anything wrong, other than the kid standing there with a smug look on his face, which obviously it appeared to be a smug look from one perspective, but then once you get all of the perspectives and you know exactly what happened, and then you witness the media all backing down and retracting their statements and apologizing and deleting comments, and now that there's a lawsuit coming their way, and now that that everything that's happening, now you look at the video and it's like, damn, his face doesn't look very smugged anymore. Right now, all of a sudden it changes. Right, you have a different perspective. Now you're like, yeah, the kid does just look like he's a shy kid who's standing there smiling because a guy's in his face, beating a drum. And he doesn't know what to do, and he's just smiling. You know what I mean? So, perspective is always a good thing. Unfortunately, you'll never get the at least a decent perspective coming from the left. They will always twist and turn every story that they possibly can. Now, originally it was reported that the two white men were wearing these hats, "Make America Great Again" hats. Jussie said that he never said that to the police department. He didn't tell Chicago Police Department that that they were wearing those hats. It was reported, it was spoken about, and then I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe the Chicago PD did confirm that and say, no, we don't. That wasn't in the original report. So that might have been something that the media just threw out there. The media is also a hoax. They're one big hoax as well. They should be charged, not just Jussie, but the media should be tracked down for all the nonsense they printed about this case, and they should also be implemented in the hoax. And the same thing with some of these congressmen and senators, and the same thing with some of these celebrities. So, all right, I just wanted to put that out there and, whatever, let you guys know what's up, at least on my end. Definitely comment, let me know what you think about this. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you in the next video. And of course, I'm going to put a link to this article in the description. See you next time.